Am I live? Can you actually hear me? Yes! You're frozen. No! You're there. Yes! Thank you, honey. You see me and you can hear me. Yes! Finally. Okay. That done. I'm going to brush my hair for a second. Just a minute. Oh. Ugh. See and hear you. Fan-fucking-tastic. It's about damn time. All right. Fourth try is the charm. Okay. I can deal with that hair. Okay. Okay. New live again. Drew, are you in here? He's not in here yet. Okay. Oh, see and hear you. Yes, victory. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate it. Unbelievably appreciate it. Okay, now we're going to try this again. Okay. So, basically, whoever's in here, thanks for trying so diligently. Yeah, there's a reason for that. Thank you, Black Dragon. I appreciate that. There's a reason I'm trying so hard tonight. What I'm trying to say is that when I get angry, I learned 4 years ago when the 2019 when all this stuff started happening regarding the book. Hopefully, we don't go through this again. But I found out the very, very hard way that I didn't know my own level of fear factor and rage. Hey, Drew's in the house. Yay. Okay. Yeah, and Drew and Robert have been in the trenches with me, so they know what I can do. They've seen it firsthand. Robert more so than Drew, but boy, have they've both seen it hardcore. And whoever's fucking with Drew, you're gonna deal with me pretty soon if you don't leave him alone, because someone's fucking with him right now. And you don't want to deal with me, because I will get vicious. You go after my friends or my family or people that I think of as family, I will be vicious. Okay, that said, here's this. So there was concern about, for those that are in my chat, you guys are fine. It's whoever screws with me and mine, whoever screws with my electronics, that's when I get upset. I know how to control my anger. I didn't when I first went to protect myself. I didn't know I could do what I could do. And it injured somebody who was attacking me. It psychically injured them. It injured them so bad that they can no longer work psychically. That's what I was told. And hearing a grown man scream like a little girl, terrified, that will stay in my head. I mean, for as long as I live, that'll stay in my head. I didn't know I could do that. I also did not know that I could go through electronic wires if I get really, really angry. And what I found out was that someone was screwing, and this was a couple of years ago, I found out that somebody was in Dave's chat. It was government agents in Dave's chat, and I knew they were agents. I could psychically feel them. This is before I broke my tailbone, so it was before August of 2021. And they went in. They went into the chat, and they started screwing with the chat. And I didn't realize that I mean, it's taken me quite a while to get this under control. But I didn't know that all I had to do was touch a piece of electronics, and if it's connected to the internet, I could go I mean, I literally saw cities. I mean, it was, they were diverting their internet through numerous cities and countries, not to be found. And I found them. They were in the United States. And I came up right underneath their frickin' fingers. There were two young guys. I came up right underneath the, I'm not a fire starter, not by any stretch, sweetheart. I know somebody who is. I know somebody who can control fire. And they don't. I mean, they deliberately don't, because they know what they can do. They can control theirs. And so they have their ability to deal with that. I have the ability to deal with water and with electronics. And it's not a joke, and it's something to take very seriously. And yeah, I got angry, but I keep a real high level of control on it. I used to say when I was a child, I don't ever want to grow up. And it went from saying that to, I don't ever want to I don't ever want to have certain aspects of abilities, and I still did. And they grew so fast when I was growing up, which is why the psychic gave me access to the book. I mean, she talked the people into it, basically. I don't know how. I don't even want to know how. But the psychic that knew the family, she's the one who got them to release control over the book to my family. And my mom also had a threat to her life and to a number of other factors just in seeing this book. And then I had a threat to my life from the psychic herself. She came after me. And I have stories to tell, which is one of the reasons why I'm talking about all of this. Other reason is to let you know you can be in my chat and be completely safe. Because I will not put up with bullshit. Yeah, everybody is Black Dragon. I was just about to say something else. Anyways, everybody is. Black Dragon says, I was born with my abilities as far as I can remember. Everybody is born with their abilities. It's just what's the timeline that they're supposed to come out and play and be predominant, or come out and start to come into the fold, so to speak, of those abilities. So here's a bunch of information, is that my higher consciousness, I used to be able to touch devices or electronics that are connected to the internet. I don't even have to do that anymore. My anger was at probably four levels above my normal anger. And we're talking tonight. And it was and Drew knew I was angry. He could feel it. He could feel it from me. I didn't even realize I was projecting. But I had it really, I had a lid on the pot, so to speak. And I went to the bathroom and came back. And as I'm walking back in my hallway, the lid got kicked off. And I have another register that it can't go above. And it was simmering, and it was simmering. And I'm like, so by the time we hit the second live feed that I tried, we were at that simmer point. And I was like, we're not going to let it go beyond that. Yeah, I know you did. there were things that you were saying to me, Drew, in private chat that I was like, yeah, he's feeling it. This is not good. I can't let it go beyond that. And then there were certain things that Susie, Black Dragon, Tim, all of you were saying, and Drew, all of you were saying that it literally helped me to be able to control me again. Because and I know that there are psychics out there. I know that psychic, the woman that I call the psychic bitch from hell, when I was a teenager, I know that she could do the things that I did, but I was also stronger and more powerful than she was, and that freaked her out because I blew right through the frickin' black magic. It's a form of magic, and I'm calling it black because it's the darkest stuff I've ever come across. Well, I take that back. Almost the darkest stuff I've ever come across. And it really... She tried to do a number on me, and it didn't work. And so my point being is that you guys are safe in here. This is a safe chat. Yeah, voodoo, hoodoo, exactly. She did a lot of shit, Drew. And she was doing corporate psychic espionage. And I knew that was called, that's what it was called, but it didn't, it was like, it's unreal. It was unreal to me. And it was really hard for me to accept that I just had experienced that when I was 18. It was really hard for me to acknowledge that. To even, I mean, it blew the lid off of me big time. And the fact that I was like, you're effing with my mom, you're effing with me. The remote viewing stuff, no, it goes beyond the remote viewing, Drew. But yeah, it was pretty harsh. And she got to me, but she didn't. I still talk about her, but yet, on one hand, I'm still pissed at her. At another hand, I'm thankful that she allowed me to have the book. I question why she allowed me to have access, not have, but have access to the book. God, if I had that book, oh my God, that would be, oh, that's a whole nother subject. I never would have even been talking about it. But because you'd have so many agents trying to come after it. And I mean, with what they've done with other people, I can't even, it's mind-bending to me. But here's something to think about. If they come after me for simply asking about the book and knowing about the book, think about what they've done to other people. That's where I literally, I was yelling at my TV. I was so ecstatic in the morning over the fact that David Grusch had talked about what he had talked about and the harm that the government has tried. That's a big deal, folks. Because I knew it to be true. So I'm gonna a little bit more of my whatchamacallit. Anyway, I'm looking over at my doohoo internet. So listen, when you don't know what you can do and you have abilities that are really strong, I mean like really strong, and you get attacked, this is my experience, folks, and you get attacked and you know their government and you know their military, you also know that they're technically working for a corporation. but that corporation is being funded via the government. And you know it. You psychically know it. And you see it. And you see the environment. Damn it. And you see the environment that they're in. Contracted second party. Yeah, it gets really... Yeah, and see, Black Dragon just said, never fear your abilities. You have them for a reason. I've always believed that. Ever since I've been little, even when my grandmother told me to keep my mouth shut. She knew. To this day, I still say she knew. She knew what I could do. My grandmother, my great aunts, and my great uncles were in the 1800s with me. What the motherfuck was that? Oh my God, please don't tell me not now. I think I just saw a very, very fast orb go by behind me. Holy shit, I'm going to have to watch that again. If it wasn't an orb, then it's one of the fairies. Anyway, but it didn't feel like fairy or fae the way they feel. Anyway, so with my energy, see, I'm not angry right now. Not even remotely close. I'm not sad. I'm just at a even low keel, so to speak. Whereas earlier, when I was walking down my hallway, it hit. That energy, my anger of what was being done, it kicked the lid off of what I have under normal control. Yeah. It was not good. When that lid gets kicked off of that kind of anger, we don't hit rage. We hit deep anger. We do not hit rage yet. We had another 3, if not, I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, 3, if not 4 levels to go before we hit full-on rage. And I keep that shit under hardcore control. I get it. They don't want things talked about. They don't want certain things discussed because of, and I fully understand that. But I am going to talk. You're not going to stop me from talking. I used to say different. And now I'm like, I don't give 2 shits anymore. There are a lot of things I do give a shit about, but I know how to live and survive. I know people that can take me in if it came down to it. It wouldn't be easy, but I know how to do it. You're not going to kill me. And you don't want me on the other side. I'm more dangerous on the other side than I am here. That's a fact. I already know that one. So, I know who my soul was. Keith and I used to know each other. There are other people that I know you know, and I'm specifically talking to government right now. There are other people I know you know regarding their abilities. Many of them, we knew each other. Not all of them, but many of them. We knew each other on the other side. We know what we can do. We know what should clarify that we know who we were. And there's a group of us. There's certain things you don't screw with. Anyway, the point is that I do have very strong beliefs in certain things. Do I always agree with some of those beliefs? No. There was a section where I was talking about the demon dogs and how some souls shouldn't come back. I have a very strong belief in that. And yet there are times I get my hand slapped. The other side has kicked my ass to the curb on a couple of things. And they're very diligent. Try having a knockdown, drag out conversation with Source himself, with Death himself, and with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, baby. I am here to tell you. I've seen them firsthand. I know what they look like, what their true form is. I didn't even think they were real. They're freaking real, man. Oh, yeah. There's things you don't want to screw with. So, make no bones about it. Keep my shit under control really freaking well. Pale Rider, conquer and divide, says Drew. Yeah. Oh no, please don't do that song in my head. I did not bring that up. Don't tell me I brought that up. You did. Oh my God. I do not want to have to watch that movie. Sorry, I'm getting yelled at. No, I'm yelling. Anyway. Anyhow, better song. Thank you. That I can deal with. I can deal with that movie better than I can the 1980s movie from the sequel to a very famous movie. The sequel was not good. Anyway, and I'm a movie buff, and I love almost all kinds of movies, but damn, that one was rough. Would you please knock it off with that song? Oh my God! I happen to like that actress. Stop it. So, okay, I guess we're switching over to tea. Sweet tea instead of, because that's the only one that seems to be working for me. Anyway, yes, I can deal with Ghost Rider rather than Pale Rider, which keeps calling up a specific song from a musical. The folks weren't bad actors. That's not it. This is bad writing. Really bad writing. And I don't say that about most movies, so, you know. Anyway. Oh, somebody's just saying everybody's a critic. I know who that came from. That was an actor. Anyway, still feeling energy. Well, don't visit me in my sleep, Susie B, says Drew. Susie, I'm twirled by bold device. Good for you. Good. Pale Rider, Clint Eastwood movie. Yes. But see, Drew, there's a musical where this song deals with a specific kind of rider. And we're not talking sex. and we're talking a musical. Look up the song Cool Rider. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm referencing it. Anyway, that's the one, and somebody thinks it's funny as shit to pester me with that song. I'm like, no, stop it. I'll bring the castor oil. Bring a bucket, baby. Bring a bucket. Oh my god. Oh. Anyway. Yeah, I can get I can get oh my goodness. Yes, that's my point. For everyone. Drew. I don't know what the hell you were thinking, but that's funny. Anyway. Yeah, castor oil is I've really come to find that castor oil is a really good product. Hexane free organic. Very big difference. Anyway, yes, you do. You know my sense of humor, dear one. God. Oh my god. Anyway. Sure. Oh, after what, 5 years of knowing each other, and working with each other on different cases. God, he's had cases, I've had cases. Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys, but the bra has got to go up. Sorry, my apologies. I hate doing that on video, but oh my god. Anyway, that was actually pretty tasty. Didn't necessarily taste like s'mores, but I do have to say it was pretty tasty. Oopsie, there we go. That's not bad. I don't know what the hell the. Anyway, now I feel like a newbie here. Why is that, Black Dragon? Honey, you're not a newbie. You and I, well, I mean, you've been in Dave's chat for a long time. So is Susie. So is Drew. So have I. You've been, what, 3 years? 4 years? Something like that? Something like that. So, you're not a newbie, sweetie. This much I know. Or are you talking newbie as in dealing with energy? I know you have been. I've been everywhere, says Black Dragon. Yes, I know. I've seen you in a lot of different chats, which is cool. I stopped going into a lot of different chats. I'll watch now instead of just. There's just some things that are driving me nuts about different chats dealing. Yeah, same here, sweetie. Dealing with trying to say the name first, and my psychic thing is doing a weird. It's not my vision. It's not even my dyslexia. Black Dragon, been dealing with energy all my life. Honey, I know what that's like. Oh my god, I know what that's like. Yep, same here, Drew. Same here. And you were in there before me. I think you were in there like, what, 2 years before me? So, like a year after Dave started or something like that. And that was when he was doing Spreaker. That was when he was doing Spreaker. So, I think before that he was doing something else, but I can't remember. Robert would know. He would most likely remember it. Anyway, so yeah, if you have, and I don't necessarily have anger issues. There's a lot of shit that people do, and you got to allow yourself some anger sometimes, but at the same time, not. It's just. Oh God. See, we're all getting along. Everything's good. We're 30 minutes into this one. Yes, I think so, Spreaker. Yeah. Because he went, I thought he went, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, everybody else wants to know, and I'm like, oh, go ask. Yeah, I try not to. Black Dragon says I don't get angry or mad. I try not to. A lot of things. A girlfriend of mine that had, and this is many, 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 many years ago, she had cancer. And she used to say to me, Nikki, you have to remember, it's like water off a duck's back. It just slides off. And she was right. She basically got to the point where it's you give a damn, but you don't give a damn at the same point. And that's a lot of where I'm at. I've been that way for a few years. It's taken me a long time to get to that point because you can't control people. I mean, you can try, but as a number of somebody's found out, it's pretty difficult thing to do, especially being a narcissist. But if they honestly, and a lot of people are good people, and don't want to be in a narcissistic relationship, don't want to deal with narcissism. Sorry, I just had ouch, running thought. Okay. Well, this is a really old bottle. Like, really freaking old bottle, but it's still usable. 2020? No, 20. Well, let's see. That's July. 2016. This is a phenomenal company. And the reason I'm posting it is because I was just about to put it on my hands. Oh, my fingernails. I hate it when my fingernails show. But anyway, not as bad as they were last week, though. Nubian Heritage. Quality company. Go check them out. I kid you not. Worth their weight in gold regarding how they deal with stuff. And this is a bottle that I was using for mixing with a lot of other ointments and lotions and Drew, I try not, but unleashing a little bit on those four-wheelers, they scatter and get away from me. Laugh out loud. Black Dragon, I let others believe whatever they want. If they get mad at me, then they will get over it. If not, then it's their own fault. Yeah, pretty freaking much. Drew, I know what this is pertaining to. Castor Oil Wrestling, Susie B. Oh my God, you guys. Now. Slippy tongue. Yeah, it'd be a very slippy tongue. Oh my God. Actually, I made up a castor oil oil that's really good for the skin. It's made up with black seed oil, castor oil, black seed oil, frankincense, essential oil, tea tree oil, sage oil, eucalyptus, and the hell am I missing? I'm missing one of them. Vitamin E oil. It's only a few drops of vitamin E oil. And okay, now can I open you? Are you all shaken up now? Yes, very, very badly, but shaken up. Okay. Come on. and super thick. This stuff, when it gets older, it gets really condensed. The new stuff flows just beautifully. Come on. Thank you. I can see my hands being dry, and of course that means that I'm not drinking enough water, which is normal. Anyway. Ugh. Slippy slide. Oh, I hate that sound, but it's a funny sound. Anyway, yeah, tea tree shampoo. Drew says tea tree shampoo is pretty good. Yeah, it really is. It does wonders for the scalp. It's also great for issue with if you got kids that go to school and end up with lice. Use a tea tree oil combined with olive oil, combined with pyrethrin type of chemical, but be very, the kid stuff version. Yeah, it works really, really, really well. And it's really good for, well, not the pyrethrin shit, but the tea tree oil. It's really good for the scalp. So is rosemary oil. Excellent for the scalp. Anyway, so I made up that oil, and it's really good. I've got a weird patch on my belly that I don't normally have, and so I'd put that on it, and it's done wonders. The last 4 days, it's just done wonders. Anyway, so I swear by this company. This company is just fantastic. Of course, now my hands are all slippery, slimy, but that will this stuff soaks in pretty quickly. But yeah, check them out. They've got some really, really good products. I highly, highly recommend them. And their trade, oh God, started in 92. The hell did you go? I'm trying to find where you. They do their trade stuff really, I like ethically. Ethically sourced, manufactured in the United States with ethically sourced ingredients from around the world. That's no joke. And they used to have a trade thing going on, and I can't remember what that's called, but now that's my brain. That's not them. I just heard embargo. That's not the word I wanted. Anyway, so this stuff works wonders for the fingernails. I know where you went, Black Dragon, on that one. Very old, so you have to go easy on me, Susie B. That's from Drew. Oh my God, that's funny. It's funny. Laugh my ass off. Shh. Yeah, you mm-hmm. That's where a dirty mind comes into play really well, dear. Oh my God. Anyway, there we go. Much better. And this stuff works great on feet. Oh my God. Anyway, I highly recommend this product. But also black seed oil. If you can get your hands on pure organic black seed oil, worth its weight in gold. It does wonders for the body, for the skin. Provided you're not allergic to it internally. I can use it on my skin. I just can't use it internally, like, take it, because there are people that do take it. They'll take a teaspoon of it, or they'll do this or that with it, and I'm like, nope, can't do that. So anyway, so regarding energy, there are things that can be done that people don't really grasp the concept of. And yeah, when I make a statement that I can go through wires, electrical wires, or that I can go through and literally track somebody down, I have to be in the right kind of I'll read that in a second. I'll read that out loud in a second, Susie. They're it's not a joke. I mean, I could tell you exactly what room I was in, what door it was, the hallway. I literally came up in through the building, electrical wires, and the next thing I know, one part of my higher consciousness was underneath their fingers, another one was literally in the hallway outside of the door. So I knew exactly where I was in the building, what floor I was on, what the inside of what the door looks like, what the hallway looks like, the windows on the building, the whole 9 yards. I mean, I could tell you everything. I could even tell you what the guys look like, and their higher up, who was not very far behind them, standing behind them, or actually walking around. So yeah, it's not a joke. There are folks that have abilities like I do, only they work for government. Think about that. If I were getting paid for my abilities, there would be certain things I would allow. Yeah, I would agree to signing an NDA. But it'd have to be really, really frickin' specific on my end before I would even allow myself to do it, because I'm very my integrity is really freaking high on a lot of things. So I get really pissy about other things. Oh, there we go. Now my skin's better. Okay. Susie, Nubian products are rated excellent according to Yuka app. I don't know what Yuka app is, but that's pretty cool. Drew, I have bathed in pink Himalayan bath salts and lilac and lavender. It rejuvenates and recharges the body. Cool. Does sound relaxing. Susie says, "Oh, sounds relaxing, Andrew." Yeah, very much so. I totally agree with that. Okay, is this eyeball starting to bug me? No. Ooh, good. We're doing good. Yay! I can actually touch it, and it's not wanting to scream at me. Good. Anyway, what else? Yeah, I really wanted to come back on because there are a number of things that really needed to be talked about, and one of them is energy. One of them is not leaving everybody hanging, even if it was at the end of that broadcast. That's not cool. I don't like doing that kind of stuff. I'm not about that kind of stuff. So I will try as long and as hard as I can before I go, nope, we're done. And I'm glad that it's stayed on this time and it's been doing its thing. It's doing okay. So, anyway, it might be time to start connecting a cell phone company device. Trying to think about how to phrase that, in order to have an alternative whenever this shit starts happening. So, Susie, they research the ingredients in products to see how safe they are for the body. Oh, cool. Yes. I like that. That's good to know. Thank you. Really good to know. Okay, so check out that app, YUKA, and then the word app. Check them out, folks, because that's a big deal in my book. I used to grow my own food, family's own food, when my kid was little. Oh, cool. She says they also research foods. Nice. Black Dragon, you are good. Never need to explain anything to me. Cool. Appreciate that. Oh, that's a bigger deal right there. Susie says you can literally scan products in the grocery store through their UPC code. Yes, that's a big deal. That is gigantically huge. Gigantically huge. Wow. Okay. Well, different phone. I'm getting that app because I can't do it on this phone. This phone is so old. It's shit. So, but anyway. I'm doing a live. Somebody just woke up. What the hell was I gonna say? There's something I was gonna say, and I'm not calling it back up to my head. All right. So do you guys have questions? I'm wide awake now. I mean, that anger thing just popped me right back up. I was getting tired. No, I'm not tired now. Which ought to be interesting since the ETs did the thing in my ear and I saw a over that away. Yeah, I think you mean use. And oh God, my voice. My brain will not work with my voice. There we go. Use internet alternatives so this doesn't happen again. Yeah, that's your internet alternatives. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'm gonna need to finish following up with that. I had started that at one point, and this old phone nearly went across the room. Came real close. I had to drop it on the couch. I was like, I need to throw something. I was like, okay, imagine a baseball. Shoot, and that went. Although it hurt my back, but I needed to get the energy out. Yeah. Funny enough, I have no idea where that energy went. I was not imagining. Oh, I was imagining a hard, like a 6-foot thick cement wall. That's where it went. Hit the wall and went. Anyway, you gotta have an imagination to get certain things to work. And what is that? There we go. Anyhow, and I have a really good imagination, so very visual, very, very, very visual person. But I also have a real good basis on reality. Black Dragon, do I do readings? Yes. And I don't charge for them. Excuse me. I have been told that I needed to create a hang on a minute. I had a brain fart going. A gift registry because I don't do readings, and I got pestered by a couple of individuals, more than a couple, but I'm just going to say a couple of individuals who really, really wanted to pay me, and I was like, I can't do that. I mean, believe me, I would love to be paid on a regular basis, but I have products and things, so I have an Amazon gift registry. Excuse me. That if you know the name of it, you can access it. So I use that, and if somebody, and the other reason is I used to be in a position to where I wanted, and this was back in the 90s, back when there were certain aspects that I truly needed to see different aspects of, like the late 90s, and there wasn't anybody that did free readings without real significant consequences or significant financial things. And didn't have it. I mean, just didn't have it. And so I understand that. But I also understand there are certain individuals who take advantage of that, and I don't allow myself to be taken advantage of. I mean, that's not cool. And there are people that I've had in my life that only want to be friends because you're a psychic. That's not being a friend. Who only want to use you because, of the quote unquote friendship. And that's just bullshit. I should not be the. Anyway, so in answer to your question, yes, I do readings. They are free. And as you saw Saturday night, Friday night, whatever night it was, I think it was Friday night, when the, now I can't think of her name, the woman that came in that wanted to know about specific things, the first response I heard was the most accurate one, and it was about her son. She wanted to know about her son, and I, after the live broadcast, I got told by the other side what that was really about. And I'm not going to say because that's not for public knowledge. And so I was right, I was correct, then I was wrong, and then I was correct, and then correct again. And so it happens like that sometimes. I can have a reading where every freaking aspect of it will be 100% spot on. And then there are times where I'll have something like that happen. Sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. You have to, and you got, the other thing is that when you give a reading, the person receiving the reading needs to take explicit notes, because regarding me, for one, I don't do recordings. I don't do visual recordings. I don't do auditory recordings, none of it. So you need to take explicit notes. I usually take pretty explicit notes. And my readings don't always have a time limit. Because sometimes you can say the reading's for an hour, and then a shit ton of information comes through the last 10 minutes, and it keeps going. The other side doesn't shut up. I'm not going to stop that. That is a communication directly from the other side, from that loved one, straight into the living person who needs the information. I'm not going to stop that. But I'm also not going to be walked on and allowed to be a doormat. So there are situations. I even talked. I'm just about to name a name. There's someone very well known in or used to be really well known in the SOR chat. Hasn't been around much, mostly due to health and a bunch of other things going on in the person's life. And they go to a lot of other different. I mean, they're back and forth. They'll listen, but they don't always go in. And he's come to me a number of, and we're very good friends, and it is a true friendship. And he's come to me and said, "Hey, when do you have 2 hours?" And I'm like, "Honey, with you, it's 4." So, if the other side knows, it's usually a nonstop fest with certain individuals. Some people, it could be 10 minutes and that's it. There ain't no more. And other people, it could be like this one. We schedule 2 hours, but we always allot for 4 because it's almost always 4 hours, 3 hours, 55 minutes. So, yeah, it gets interesting. And it takes up my time, But at the same time, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy finding out what information the other side has to say to somebody. I learn from it. The other person learns from it. There are times where I've had psychics where I've gone into their Facebook broadcast, their Facebook lives, and they're doing mini readings, and I'll just sit and watch. And once in a while, I'll say hi. And I had this one person literally show up in the corner of my living room. They came in their higher consciousness state, and I saw them, and I was like, and they're doing a live. I can see them on my device. I'm looking at them, and they're talking. They're doing a full-on reading, but in their higher consciousness, they came straight in through the corner of my ceiling in my living room. I looked at them. I put my device down. I looked at them, and I'm like, well, hello. What do you want, and why aren't you continuing your focus on your customer? And they were really rather appalled that I could see them, and that I could talk to them, and that they could hear me. And it was not an astral in any any form of the imagination. They were in their higher consciousness, and I'm like, bye, get out. I was being a real nice smart ass, but typically that kind of stuff pisses me off. And then it did piss me off when the anger finally hit on it. I was like, oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me. That's not cool. Oh, feet. Black Dragon says, my father used to read cards, tea leaves, palms, and even feet. Susie says, whoa, how does that happen? Higher consciousness? It's a form of higher consciousness that you can literally pull. So you're conscious, and okay, I'm going to use me as an example. And I'm not, hopefully this will come out correctly, the way I want it to. And that will make sense. And Black Dragon, I want to know more about the feet. That fascinates me no end. I got to learn about that. That's interesting. So you got to write some stuff in there about that. I'm curious as all get out. Anyway, and I do oracle cards better than I can tarot. And if I had been in my teenage years, I would have been able to do it. I used to go to bookstores, and I'd pick up tarot cards, and I'd want them. Of course, I didn't have the money, and I didn't buy them, and I didn't steal them either, because that's not who I was even back then. But I knew that was something, that it was where I needed to go and what I needed to do. And I literally, it was like, it's not going to happen. I was a teenage kid. I didn't have the money. And it was like, oh, well. And I used to gravitate for years, many, many, many years, to tarot readers. Some good, some not so good, and some that were damn excellent. And I'd watch before I'd really watch. You observe, and then you pick up energy and all this stuff. Anyway, so I'm better at oracle cards than I am anything else. And it's the other side telling me. I mean, it's literally, okay, we're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. This is how many times you have to do this. This is how many times that has to be done. And, oh, nope, you can't pick from, oh, it has to be that section of the deck. Oh, okay. So we're going to that section. No, get rid of this hand. Okay, put that down. You're going to this hand. 4 more cards inside and pull that card. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, pull that card. I mean, they get really specific, and I'm like, whoa, that really does apply. Okay, now put the deck down, shuffle it, put this card down. I mean, they get really specific with me. So I'm much, much better at oracle cards than I am at tarot. Really better at it. Okay, so how does that happen? So we all have a consciousness, correct? Your higher consciousness, for example, when you sleep, your body is resting and relaxing. Your mind is a form of a higher consciousness. That's where the dreaming comes into play. That's where your brain tries to reset. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And in the in the process of resetting, you end up dreaming different dreams, that things that you know about. It's your subconscious taking over, but your higher consciousness is kind of like driving the stick shift. I mean, driving the car, so to speak. And it's how you deal with stuff. So your higher consciousness, in how I am right now, if an emergency had come in, I could be here, and my higher conscious, and it's different. Drew had talked about remote viewing. This is completely different than remote viewing. I'm not exactly sure what science would call it nowadays. I don't really give a shit. Grand scheme of things, it's just, this is what I know to do. And I will literally be here, and yet my higher consciousness, it's like it pops out of my head. I don't know how else to say it. And literally goes, I mean, it's instantaneous, so fast. Literally, I'm there. And I'm it's like my head on a swivel, head wherever. And I don't see my body. I literally see through these eyes, but it's like having a second pair of eyes up here that aren't psychically connected. I don't know how else to explain that. They're partially connected, but they're not really. And my higher consciousness will be wherever that emergency is, and I can literally see a 360 view, and I can see different things that the humans cannot see. I'll see in the I'll see in the etheric realms as well. It wasn't it was the psychic who was doing the reading. Okay, so Susie has a question. So was it the person's higher consciousness getting the reading that came in from the corner, or was it yours? Susie, I understand a higher consciousness. Sorry, was wondering whose it was. It was the psychic. It was the psychic who was doing the reading for a client on Facebook, on his Facebook Live. And he literally, in his higher consciousness, it wasn't the person receiving the reading, it was the psychic. And he literally, right down through. I mean, he wanted to know who I was because he felt the energy that I had. And I get that sometimes. I mean, I have different people. I have different psychics. I have all different sorts of things. That's how the government asshats were dealing with me. I mean, they knew where I live. They don't have to have, it's the other psychic's higher consciousness. Yeah. They don't have to have an actual address. All they have to do is have a name, and they're there. Now with the government asshats, it works a bit differently. It takes them training. I can now do it. I can reverse it. I'm sure they'll love to hear that. And I've reversed it right back on them. A couple of their I just lost the phrase I was going to call them. Yeah, I've literally blocking them doesn't work, because when you're asleep, you can block, but only to a certain degree. They're making a psychic connection to your unconscious. Okay, so Susie is asking, which is it's an excellent question. Susie is she is saying, so when I feel a bunch of eyes watching, is that other people's higher consciousness watching me? Yes and no. You can have other people's higher consciousness. You can feel other people's higher consciousness. Depending upon what level you're at, you can also feel another person in astral form. If they're in astral travel form, you can definitely feel them. Most people are not going to be able to feel somebody else's higher consciousness, unless you are extremely aware and awake and vibrant with all of your abilities. Whoa. I'm going to let that one stop and simmer a minute. And then you've got spirits that, if you're aware of them, you would be able to feel that too. If you feel like you have a number of eyes on you and it's not psychological or neurological damage, okay? Because there are medical things that can make you feel that way, that need medication. Then, and you're using your abilities, you could be feeling spirits. You can be feeling a lot of spirits. You could have, if you're feeling that many, you could have a lot of different spirits around you. Okay. Susie, can't you render invisible? Yes and no. In sleep mode, when you're physically asleep, that means doing it every single time you go to sleep. And that's really draining to do that. There are numerous methods and modus operandi. It's not the right phrase. There are numerous methods that you can do to. It's called cloaking. Render invisible. Invisible is a different in. Astral. People in astral can cloak themselves, usually really well, especially certain military ones that have been trained. And some of them, when they get old, and I roll my eyes when I say that, when they get older, start losing that ability to cloak themselves, and so their cloak gets a little wonky. So just an FYI. Yeah, Susie, I felt someone in astral walk in my house. Yep, been there, done that. Susie, no, it wasn't. Only a strong feeling. Yeah. Yeah, if you get a feeling like that, then tell them to get the F out. And actually, you can, it depends on what kind of energy you're running and doing, but you can put a, just trying to think how to phrase this. You can stop them from entering your house. Not so easy, but you can stop them. It wasn't a mental attack, the eyes only a curiosity. Actually, in astral form, it's not just eyes only. You're dealing with the full body. with their soul cord. And if you actually see them, you won't be seeing the soul cord. You'll be seeing the you'll be seeing the body. Black Dragon, never in my house, but at work I can sense them. Yeah. The spirits are astral travelers. Astral travelers, I mean, people get interested about how certain things are done. So depending upon where you work, I'd be asking why they're doing astral travel to you, or to your work environment is what I should say. Because that can go right back into the corporate espionage situation. So anyhow, because that's exactly what the psychic bitch from hell was doing. That's how I found out about her. She was my first astral traveler I ever felt, and boy did she piss me off. She came walking through our sliding glass door. I was sitting here, sliding glass door was there. TV was over here, Mom was over here on the couch, and this bitch comes walking right through the sliding glass door, and I had a bowl of popcorn in my lap. I was sitting in this green Queen Anne chair style chair and stuffed chair, and with my young teenager leg hanging over the knee, hanging over the edge, and waving my foot while Mom and I were watching TV. She had a bowl of popcorn, I had a bowl of popcorn, and chowing, and I literally saw her walk, and then her scent. She had on perfume, and I put the bowl down right next on the other side of my knee, and I stood up with a vengeance, and I said, I don't know who the hell you are, but you're going to get out of my house right now. And my mom stopped, I mean, mid, with the popcorn. I'll never forget that. I mean, she was just like, huh? What? And I said, Mom, we've got somebody here. She said, is it a ghost? And I said, no. I don't know exactly what she is, but she's not a ghost. I know that. She's a living person, and I don't even know how she's doing it. And I looked at her. I mean, I squared off with her. I kid you not. I went eyeball to eyeball with her. We were that far apart. And I said, you're going to get the hell out of my house now. You have no business being here. And her attitude, I mean, she got all high and mighty. I could see her. It was the strangest viewing, even to this day, that I had seen that kind of in my visual and in psychic eyes, through my psychic eyes. I mean, and my mom stood up and she goes, describe her. She got real quiet, real scary quiet. And my mom's not like that. That was the thing back then. My mom was not like that. And she put her bowl of popcorn down off to her side, and she said, describe her. And I described her. I described her perfume. I described her height. Everything about her. And that was when my mom opened up to me for the very first time about what had been happening at her work environment. And you could, I could feel my energy. I could feel like it was like red flames all the way around me. That's how it felt. I mean, I was just livid, absolutely livid. And I went eyeball to eyeball, and I said, you will leave. I don't know how I will make you leave, but you will leave. And you will leave on your own accord, because if the second I figure out how to make you, you will not survive. And my mom she got quiet. She got, like, deathly fucking quiet. And I could hear, okay, calm down. And I'm like, don't fucking tell me to calm down. And for me to swear back then was a big deal. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that between me and my mom, that was a really gigantic deal. And I said, you are never, ever coming ever into this house again. And it was an apartment, but I consider, I mean, this is my home. This is my home with my mom. You don't fuck with us, period. And she turned around and she left. She walked right out. She didn't, I can't say she stormed out, but she was not a happy camper. And she really was in, my mom was in she was terrified. She was fucking terrified of this woman. And it was then that mom started talking about what this woman, who this woman was, how she was part of the business and part of the business that she worked for. And I remember thinking corporate. And then later on that night, I heard the word espionage. And I couldn't even fathom what I had just experienced. It was nothing in comparison to what was about to happen less than a week later. So that was my experience with somebody, my very first experience with somebody in Astral. And I kid you not, my mom was scared. I mean, she was terrified of this woman, truly terrified of her. Because there were stories, and rightly so, there were stories of her being able to control electronics, turn on and off. I haven't read chat yet. Hang on a second, guys. She had the ability to turn on and off electric typewriters, to actually move them a couple of feet across a table if she got pissed off enough at an employee. There were things that she and mom had every right to be afraid of her. Every fucking right to be afraid of her. Because this woman used her abilities against the employees. And in my book, that's not just corporate espionage, that's corporate espionage terrorism against the employees. So, why she chose me and my family to show the book to and talk into. Now, I also know that this woman had the capability, and I'm not going to say how I knew. At least you can hear it on one of my other podcasts. But she had the ability to fuck with the minds of her employees, and I do mean fuck with them. She was telepathic to a very, very specific degree, and she used that to terrorize them, to terrorize the different employees there, in very specific ways. And I got trained really fast by somebody who knew how to protect and deal with that. So when I went face-to-face, mano-a-mano with her in the physical life, in this physical life, she didn't like the fact that I blew through all of her traps. And she had set many of them. And she didn't like the fact that when we met face-to-face, 3 to 6 feet apart. Actually, we were 4, if I remember right. I'm trying to remember how many 4 feet is. Hang on a second. Yeah, somebody's yapping at me. You don't have to get the tape measure out, Nikki. Yes, I do. Okay, I know what 3 feet, but my brain is not. That's 2. That's 3. Nope, we were shorter than we. Oh God. Fuck. We were 2 feet from each other. Pardon my language for the swear. Anyway, yeah, so and it hasn't even registered with me what's going on in chat. Sorry, guys. So we were 2 feet apart, face to face. And she tried to probe my mind. And being my age and what I had just been taught, she couldn't access me. So that was my first hardcore experience with a psychic telepath, energy / bitch from hell. And she had abilities that would make the eyes roll back into the back of your head. And that's why I called her the psychic bitch from hell. I mean, she terrorized people. And those weren't just stories at my mom's work. They were, I have seen ... And my mom talked about some of this stuff, and she actually got to the point where she was crying. My mother didn't cry. Okay, so for my mother to be shaking, literally, physically shaking and crying, talking to me about this and what she saw of this woman and what could be done. Yeah, I was like, fuck with me and my family. Got another thing coming. So, yeah. That's how serious it was. Okay, now I'm going back up in chat. Derek, I just got done crying. Oh, feel better now, Derek. This is Susie. Oh, sweetie. Derek says, I just saw my kids off to their first day of pre-K, happy and sad at the same time. Oh, sweet. I remember those. I remember that. Although it wasn't that kind of a situation because I homeschooled my kid, but it was later. I was like very happy and very proud of him, and yeah, I remember that feeling. Black Dragon. Astral travel is dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. Yes, I frickin' agreed. Totally agree with that. There is a cord connect the astral form to the body. If that cord got severed, then they die in real life. Derek, yes, it's 7:40 a.m. here. It runs 8 a.m. to noon. 8 a.m. to 1. Susie, oh, wow, Nikki. Derek whipped away and cast back into his body. Yeah. Black Dragon, Derek, astral travelers are basically living ghosts. No, they're not, sweetheart. Well, I suppose that's one way to look at it. That's a different perspective I had never thought of before. So I can't necessarily say no to that. That's a very interesting perspective. Derek, I had experiences a few years ago after your live sent down. Your live sent down? After your live sent down. Derek, what do you mean by that, hon? That's cute. I like that, Susie. Had a few experiences after your live. Oh, after your live went down. Got it. Okay. See, I'm not connecting with stuff. I'm not quite up to snuff yet. That's okay. It'll get there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody did, sweetie. I think everybody did. Derek, I checked my daughter's room when she was sleeping. The lights were off and the hall light was on. I walked into her room and I saw a shadow figure. No joke. Freaked me out. Then it disappeared into... Oh, that's not okay, Derek. I'm going to recommend something to you that I use in my own home. Hang on a second. I'm going to see if I can actually show it to you guys. Hang on a minute. Can it be seen, or do I have to show the entire freaking window? I might have to show the entire freaking window. Hang on a second, guys. So at the top of each one of my windows, after I've had experiences, yeah. Okay, can you see that? Right here. Can you see that? No. Right there. Okay. What that is it's two nails that I took the very finest wire I had. Yes, Derek, it is a cross. I have one after I've had an experience with what you talked about. I had, because I don't want to say that publicly. There are certain beings. Now, okay, they could have been a spirit that decided to be a shadow. It could have been a wide variety of things. I'm not picking anything up psychically, but what I'm going to tell you is that after an experience I had with a couple of kids that I consider grandkids, and one of my deceased friends on the other side came to me, and one of the children came to me asleep. She came to me in her astral form, screaming, came running through the sliding glass door, screaming my name, grabbed onto me so tight that I ended up with deep tissue bruises on my back. Which is weird because they never formed bruises on top of the skin, but I had two little balls of fists on my back that were bruised. I mean, she actually bruised my the muscles on my back. She grabbed onto me so tight. Anyway, so I had a situation to deal with. Ever since then, I have learned to put up an old school method, very old school method. And basically what those are two nails. They're 2 inches in length. 1 inch, 2 inches. See, my perceptions are off right now. Just a second. They're 2 inches. Yeah, they're 2-inch length nails. And I wired them just like a not a cross, but a plus sign, and it's as close as a cross I'll ever get. And there's one above each window. There's one above each door. And so then I hung them up via those little sticky tabs. The little sticky tabs with a hook on them, and put them on above each window. And it stops a lot of shit. I'm really surprised. It actually stops a lot of shit. I still have a lot of crap coming through, but it stops the wannabes. It stops a lot of the gray stuff. Now, on a sliding glass door, I would recommend putting 3 or 4 above the door. If I had the ability, I would buy silver, and they would be 4-inch in length. 4-inch? No, I take it back. They'd be 6 inches in length. I don't know why I'm not remembering shit. It's normal, easy stuff for me. Anyway, so yeah, that is, that's what I have. Right there. Derek, first time I've ever saw a shadow figure. It was weird. Derek Cross. Yes. Susie Arun. Derek, Mr. Mom passed away in this house years back, but she has Mr. Ray passed in this house years back, but she was very religious and spiritual. It's possible it's her. I mean, there's a huge wide variety of things, guys. So anyway, but I have one up. I have over every window, every doorway, bedroom doors, bathroom doors included. But mostly it's anywhere there's an outside window, outside door. I don't know. I didn't get to see. Derek asks, what are your thoughts on the Peru alien event? I didn't see anything in that video. And part of it was because I was on a really freaking tiny screen. And based on what I know, the ETs aren't going to do that. Mantids, if it is mantids, because it was mentioned either in chat or by Dave or by somebody on the show. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. There's so many possibilities. I'd be asking, because of dealing with ETs, I'd be asking a shit ton of questions regarding why. If it is them, did they get stuck? Why aren't they using... Mantids have the ability to cloak themselves. Why aren't they cloaking themselves? They're chasing something. But what the frick are they chasing? The people are obviously chasing something, but what is it that they're chasing? If I could get a large screen image, then I would make more of a classification, more of it. But in my gut, it doesn't feel like ET. But that said, I have been wrong before. It doesn't happen very often, but I have been wrong before on that kind of stuff. So, but it just, in my gut, it just doesn't feel like real ET. And that's concerning, because I can see there are certain ETs that I register. Now, this is something I wanted to talk about, actually. There is, I don't know if it's still going though. There's a fire in Washington State, forest fire in Washington State. And many people I'm misreading things. Just a minute. I want to finish saying this before I revolve into what was going on in chat. Many people took pictures of the smoke. They were going northbound on I-5, and many people were taking pictures of the smoke. Also, there was a combination of what I know to be the exact shape of an ET mothership underneath the smoke. And the interesting thing is that there were 3 occasions. There are now 3 occasions, as I should say. When I was in a car in line for a ferry on a Thursday. And I don't remember the date right now. It was in July. We're headed across, we're going to go across the ferry, but as I was sitting in line for the ferry, that exact same cloud, color, shape, everything was in the sky. Do I have a picture of it? Yes. There was also another one that I did not take a picture of when I was on the Washington Peninsula. So I come back, and last week, here you've got numerous people taking lots of pictures of this smoke, but what's underneath the smoke, which is very clearly defined as smoke, but yet what's underneath is a very defined straight line cloud with it's straight line on top, straight line below, straight sides, straight underneath. I mean, it's very defined. And I made a comment about, oh, it looks like a UFO that I saw back in 2019. Of course, you get people laughing and hooting and hollering and making jokes. I don't give a shit. And of course, it comes out in the news that it's smoke from this one specific forest fire. Yeah, I get that, because that's obvious with the plumes of the smoke coming, and it's a specific color of white, with the shadowed white in it. This was not. This was a very, very defined, and it just I know. Derek, oh, you're asking. That's not what I said. That's not what I thought I read. Okay, so, yeah, it becomes a problem. And I still say that specific shape under the plumes of smoke was an ET ship. It's a mothership. It's specifically I was just about to say a colostrum ship. Oh my God, that's not what I meant. Hey, Jesus, Nikki. Consortium ship. It's a consortium ship. And consortium means that you're dealing with multiple races of ETs on that ship. Multiple different races, breeds, whatever you want to call them. That's what I know. Because before I even actually saw the very first picture that I saw, when I was starting to scroll up on my device, all I saw was blue sky. This blue shot as it's coming up, so it's only like that much up on the screen on my device, and just that much of the image I got. It was the same warning, intuitive, detrimental feeling that I had back in 2019 when I knew it was not the right kind of ET ship. And my warning, everything in me, they all went straight up. Goosebumps and hair on my back, and, well, not hair on my back. Fine little tiny hairs that every woman has on her skin. That's what I meant. Oh my God. Anyway, on the arms and legs and everything, and I don't even know the legs are shaved, but that doesn't mean. So anyway, you just everywhere, you just get that view, and I go up and sure as shit, there's an image, and I looked at that and I went, that's son of a bitch an ET ship. That's at the ET ship. And I made a comment on somebody's page. I said, that's the consortium ship from 2019 where we were all at. And, and then I got made fun of because I posted it on I also posted it, but I worded it very carefully. I posted it on a public page. And of course, that's the one that I got laughed at. And I'm like, don't give a shit anymore. And I thought, I got really pissed. And then I went, why do you care? They're going to make fun of you no matter what. You're an abductee. You know certain things. And people in public are just, they're going to be vicious about it. And I'm like, fuck them. I don't care anymore. I mean, I do, but I don't at the same time. It just irritates the shit out of me. It's like, these things are real. And this is a situation where you've got two situations. One nice, one not so nice, and one that is very detrimental in damaging everything on, just the planet and stuff. I'm just like, fire's not good. It's really bad. Kudos to all the firemen and those working the crews on the fire lines. I mean, my God, I can't even fathom and imagine what they have to go through. It's really a lot of such hard work. I commend them immensely. Okay, Susie, I have to go to sleep. Good night, Nikki and Black Dragon and Derek. Thanks for your time. You're very welcome, dear. Sleep well. Black Dragon, we know a truth that a lot of others will never know. Exactly. Okay, so Derek, if you go to Nerd Report podcast, he doesn't deep dive on Peru aliens. He was the first to report on it almost 2 weeks ago. He has now a slowed down video where you can see the outline of a mantis ET. Nice, good. Shovel-shaped head and big eyes. Yeah. Susie, Hawaii has a fire also. Oh, that's not good. Are the aliens creating fires? No. No. Not to my knowledge, they're not. And that, as far as I know, that's the farthest from their interest. They have very specific interests. That damaging the earth is not one of them. Black Dragon, sweet dreams, Susie. Yes, agreed. Very much so. Okay, before I do anything, I want to get that back up. Hang on a second, guys. I want to get my curtain back up. Okay, up we go. Here we are. And this can come back over here. Oh, looks like I need to dust my thing again. My wire shelves and a little book, not bookcases, Nikki, there. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. All right, all the fires are human-made. Yeah, unfortunately. Either that or lightning-made. That does happen. It's usually human. Sad to say. We are at 1:44. Okay, I'm shutting this down in about 16 minutes. So ask me anything else you want to ask me before I go. And before I have to. Somebody coming out of anyway. So ask me what you want to ask me. I wish I knew more about the Peru thing, though I really, really appreciate, Derek, that that you gave that information. Matter of fact, I'll write that down because I can almost guarantee right now with everything that's going to be going on in the next 6 hours, I'm not going to remember. Okay, so it was Derek, and this is Nerd Report. Okay, Nerd Report podcast. Regarding Mantis. Peru, Nikki. Thank you. And did you write Mantid or Mantis? Mantis. It's the N, Mantis. E-T. Okay. Yeah, or is it a mask? I mean, is it somebody doing it? Is it, oops, sorry, pen. Is it somebody doing it? Is it, there's so many aspects to this. So frustrating. But it is something that I will look into. I don't want to promise because I don't break my promises, but I can't promise it on this one because there's too much going on right now in my life. But I will give it a look-see. I think we hit everything I really wanted to talk about. Derek, Breakfast of Champions, Derek says. Small pack of beef jerky, 4 powdered donuts, and a rice pudding to dip the donuts in. Yummy. Dude, you got to be better for your health. Oh my God. Salt, sugar and salt. I mean, high carbs. Oh, honey. I think we've all been there once or twice, but unfortunately, I can't. It affects me way too much. I'm with salads and high protein soups, and I'm glad Black Dragon says, Nikki, I really enjoyed this. Honestly, I'm really glad. And I'm glad that it all worked out. And basically we did 2 4-hour sessions or 2 2-hour sessions. So we got 4 hours in tonight, which completely unexpected. Not what I had anticipated in doing. Last night we had John's cheese stuffed pizza, and I also had fruit for dinner. Good for you. Got your fruit in. Get your fiber in. It's a lot of Papa John's. That's what I figured you meant Papa John's. Yeah, that's important. People don't realize how much fiber is really important in the body. So it's good that you got some fruit in. What else? So you heard lots of stories, couple of things that I haven't really gotten into in a while. What does my typical day look like? I'm homebound, mostly because of my tailbone. Well, now I'm going to be, because of doing these lives, I'm really specific when it comes to these lives. So, and my kid is grown and gone. I mean, he's doing living life, you know. Used to do a lot of camping, a lot of fishing, a lot of hiking. Used to walk everywhere. Oh my God, everywhere. Until my kid got to be old enough to really deal with the bus in an appropriate way. Then after moving here, it got to be to where ended up my mom had a major stroke, and so she ended up living with me for 6 months, living here for 6 months until we got her a place to live facility. And then it was all about dealing with my mom. And then in 2020, mom got, end of 2019, mom got horribly ill. And you're asking me what I do. There's a reason why I'm telling you this. And end of 2019, mom got really sick. 2020, beginning of 2020, she got really sick. She was in the hospital 3 separate times between November 2019 and February 2020. And March of 2020, she got sick again, and that's when they labeled her with COVID. And they didn't think she was going to live. And so I was doing a lot, going back and forth. I was at my mom's facility almost every day. That is what I have done almost all my life, Derek. Derek says service to others is what Jesus taught his disciples. That's the most important thing. That's actually what I've done most of my life. Used to be an advocate, never got paid for it. The attorneys, a number of major attorney firms got to know me in Seattle, even had job offers, but I was like, I cannot do that. I've got a child that there are certain things that I was just like, no, and I'm not putting him in daycare. That just doesn't fly with me. There were many aspects that I was absolutely not okay with. And then we homeschooled, and I was like, no, I'm the sole teacher in all aspects. So yeah, I worked as an advocate, was a full-time mom, did a lot of things for a lot of people. And my son was brought up around that. And so now I wouldn't. That's your answer, Derek. I'm not going to read that one out loud, but I would not. No. No. And there are reasons I say that. Unless you own your own home. No. So yeah. So what I'm now after the 20, so I had a back injury in 2008, and then 2014 moved here, and 2021 I fell and landed on a pile of firewood and broke my tailbone, and had to relearn all sorts of things. Like right now, I'm sitting on very specific. I'm sitting on 2 ice packs. Basically, I'm sitting on an ice pack, but I'm sitting on padded fleece. Couldn't think of what it was called. And I'm trying to get back into physical shape, being very, very careful about how I go about doing that. Because in 2016, 17, 18, and part of 19, I was working with a bariatric group and got trained by an excellent, who I deeply miss, an absolute excellent physiotherapist, and who retrained me how to deal with this injured body. And he did wonders. I mean, if it hadn't have been for him, kudos to him. Love him to pieces. And if he hadn't have taught me what he did, I would not now grasp really what I need to do. And boy, am I very careful with it. I've got a chiropractor who is excellent. Highly recommend. And I got a naturopath I really like. Not my main doctor though, but I do really like him. And so I'm trying to now downsize and deal with different things, while also how to deal with the paranormal, how to deal with different things when I do go out, being around different people, being out in public again, especially after 2020 and 2021. It's not been easy. So I've been away from. I do have friends and family that come into my home and that kind of thing, where I'll go to them. But I'm not out on the buses or out doing the gigantic walks I used to do. Oh my God, the long walks I used to do. I miss that. I still walk with my cane. I'm getting sciatica pain right now, so I'm not going to be able to sit here for very much longer. And it's one of the reasons why. And if I sit in other chairs, I have tremendous amount of pain with my tailbone and my sciatica. And so I miss not being able to do certain things, but I have my different devices and I'm looking over here. Years ago, I bought a body blade. We're talking 1990s. I had a very small environment, was trying to find very unique ways of trying to exercise and do things at the same time while I was being mom and advocate and doing numerous different, lots of different jobs, trying to freebie stuff and all this. Anyway, but I was learning. And so, yeah, I'm a homebody. And there's a lot of aspects of life that I miss, but there's a lot of it that I don't miss. What I do miss are things like being in a garden, being actively in a garden, and it's going to sound funny, but bent over with my hands in the garden. Now I cannot physically do that because it hurts my body. So what I would like to be doing is having a specific kind of chair that I'm sitting on, and working in the ground, mounds and hills and stuff like that. Honey, I used to do the kind of stuff I used to do. I used to terrace property by hand, shovel, spades, garden spades, all kinds of stuff. I've terraced property. I've done all that. Yeah, Derek says, I understand they're healing with doing garden landscaping. Yeah. Matter of fact, my yard was proficient with flowers. I had this god-awful little itty-bitty white house, and took the fence out and with permission, and it became a flower oasis. It wasn't just flowers. I had fennel plants that were over 25 feet tall. I used to grow, 10 to 12 purple broccoli plants. Used to grow purple potatoes. Used to grow raspberries, and we had grapevine, and there was a neighbor's plum tree and pear tree that were actually in our yard, and we had cherry trees that the dog would eat. I mean, the dog would. She loved the cherries off the trees. Not so much the grapes, which cracked me up, and she'd eat the plums whole. So I mean, there's all sorts of things. Sorry, pain. Oh, it's a pain. Anyway, I was waiting for that. I was wondering when that was going to kick in. Speaking of which, another product. Try this if you got nerve issues. I highly recommend it. God, kid you freaking not. I hate sciatica. Literally a pain in the ass. Literally. Not going there, Derek, publicly. You want to know, talk to me privately about that. This is a great question, though. My son is 31. Very proud of him for his knowledge. Does he have abilities? Yes. Yeah, try it on a daily basis, sweetie. Sciatica on... Derek's saying I had sciatica 4 to 5 different times. Yeah. Daily basis isn't fun. Right now, it's... things are different with my hormones, which is kicking in my nerve pain quite a bit. It's really hard to deal with. Not fun. Black Dragon. I used to have flower garden until Grandma passed away. I do have grapes, blackberries, raspberries, apples, and hazelnuts. I had a neighbor across the street who had hazelnuts. They were wonderful. It takes a while for them to really kick in and grow, to get to full maturity. Anyway, wonderful things. And you can do so much with hazelnuts. I had no idea. Wow. Incredible amount of things you could do. Derek, Black Dragon, where do you live? I'm in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay. Indiana. Oh, Black Dragon's in Indiana. I used to know somebody in Indiana. I used to talk about a park that he loved that was near a cemetery. And I went, oh, really? So you have kids next to a cemetery. I bet that's interesting. It went right over his head. Derek, I am huge Notre Dame football fan. Cool. I like football. So yeah, it's and on that note, guys, I'm gonna have to go because this is starting to kick my left tush. It's really starting to kick. And I'm laughing about it, but it's not funny. Anyway, I am really glad we all got a chance to talk. Good day and Godspeed to all, says Derek. Yeah, I agree. I'm really glad we got a chance to talk, and I'm really glad that this second version worked. So anyway, for anybody else, I hope you do well. Hope you have a rest of a good week, as it was Wednesday, now it's Thursday. Go back in. Oh. That's why I knew there was something I was going to do. Go back in and look at... I'm going to give the links again because we did that in the first one. This is the show I was on. Whoopsie doodle. Here's the link to that show. It's usually on Spreaker, but the Eric does it over to Eric Cooper does it over to puts it over to his YouTube channel. And the other one is our Keith Andrews. I know he's not in here right now, but I do want to promote because, I mean, he's just really good at what he does. I mean, just, and a really sweetheart of a nice guy. And Derek says YouTube. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm watching A Call to Spy, true story, about young female spies in World War II. Good movie. Oh, good to know. Thank you, Derek. Thank you for the heads up. I like a good movie. And everybody knows how to get a hold of Spaced Out Radio, but I'm going to put it in there anyway. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Burpee. Oh, it's on Netflix. Oh, okay, good to know. Okay, thank you for saying that. Okay, there's Spaced Out Radio. And who am I missing, guys? Susie Hansen, always. You want to look up info on really, really good info she's got on. She's out of New Zealand. And then we've got Bigfoot, Michigan, Rob. A lot of good, great stories coming out of there. Real life stories, I might add. And then we've got, where'd you go? We have Bigfoot, Michigan, Rob. Where's Duke? Dukey Duke, where are you at, dear? Come on. Oh, I just saw you. Where the hell did you go? World Bigfoot Radio. Where are you, dear boy? There you are. Okay. World Bigfoot Radio. That's Duke's channel. And I think that's all I'm going to do for right now. Ah, yes, Bigfoot. Hang on a minute. I'm going to post that and then do that. Okay. Derek says, I just bought Bigfoot, Michigan Rob's book. It will be here tomorrow. Awesome. Let me know how it is. I think it's pretty great. I was promoting it on my Facebook page. Whoops, missed that. I knew you were going to say Duke. Yep. And if you don't know this one, give her a check her out. This is Erica Lukes. And is that it? I thought that was going to be it, but apparently not. Samantha Mowat. Whoopsie doodle. There we go. Okay. And I think that's it. Is that it? Let's see. Then we have the Zeta connection. Whoopsie doodle. There we go. Oh God, that toast smells good. Okay. The Zeta connection. Go check them out. They have pretty interesting stuff from all of them, actually. So there's enough links in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 links. Did I miss somebody? 7, 8. Oh, God. 1, 2. Nine links. Okay, so there's 9 links in there. Check them all out. Give a listen. Hit subscribe. Whoever the third person is that came in, hello, and thank you for stopping by. We're just about to end. Thank you for coming here. So there's 9 links in there. Check them out. Hit like, subscribe, and share if you like their content. God, Derek. Donut and rice pudding. Good, he says. Anyway, and if I've missed somebody, write it in the comment section below. And on that note, I hope you have a good morning, a good afternoon and evening and wee morning hours, whenever you see and watch and hear this. So have most of them, but we'll add the ones I don't have, says Black Dragon. Good. Yeah, Erica is really good with her information. She brings on a lot of people with a lot of knowledge and who have been doing this for a long time. She's well known in the ufology circles, has been for many, many, many years. Check her out. So anyway, on that note, take very good care. And thank you for staying with and chatting. And if you missed the one before this, go back in because it's on the same day. I might have to get rid of 2 and 3 and just keep 1 and 4 because these are parts. Because a lot of things took place in episode or in part 1, and we literally got shut down because of the subject. So go back in and take a listen. There's a lot of info in there. Take good care, guys. Take care. Bye.